Sanskaram University, where cutting-edge technology meets the promise of world-class education. Sanskaram University, education with values.
This is not a story of just turbulence in the skies, but of a shocking turbulence in humanity itself. Imagine you are 30,000 feet in the air heading home or perhaps to your next work trip. You are tired, maybe even asleep, and then suddenly the plane jolts, the windows rattle, the cabin lurches, there's a storm outside, a hailstorm, and the turbulence is terrifying. You hear people crying, someone is praying. You clutch your seat, your breath short, and in that moment you trust that your pilot, your captain, is doing everything in his power to keep you safe. And he was, but someone else wasn't. On a regular Delhi to Srinagar IndiGo flight with over 220 people on board, the pilot encountered severe weather conditions, a sudden hailstorm as the aircraft flew over Amritsar. In that critical moment, the pilot made a professional, humanitarian, and desperately urgent request. He asked the Lahore Air Traffic Control in Pakistan for permission to briefly enter Pakistani airspace, not for politics, not for provocation, but to save 220 lives. But Pakistan said no, denied entry, denied safety, denied humanity. What happened next is caught in videos now circulating on social media. You see chaos inside the cabin, passengers terrified, gripping their seats, praying because the pilot, forced to stay on course, had no option but to fly straight into the storm. Imagine. And all of this because Pakistan, blinded by rage, refused a humanitarian request. This is not about borders. It is not about ideology. It is about basic code that aviation authorities across the world follow. In aviation, there is an unspoken rule. When a life is at stake, you respond, you help. Because in that moment, the aircraft isn't Indian or Pakistani. It's not Hindu or Muslim. It's not political. It's human. In the past, even during high tensions, it was India helping Pakistani citizens during the 2005 earthquake, sending tons and tons of relief material to Pakistan. But on Wednesday, that unwritten code of compassion was broken by Pakistan. By denying access to a flight carrying over 200 innocent lives, Pakistan did not just play dirty politics, it played with lives. What if that turbulence had been worse? What if that plane had not made it safely to Srinagar? What if one of those 220 passengers, someone's father, someone's daughter, someone's child, had died? Would we still justify this as a diplomatic stance then? These were the people whose lives were risked, not by nature, but by decision made on the ground in an air traffic control room in Lahore, in Pakistan. And make no mistake, this wasn't just a denial of airspace, it was a denial of basic decency, basic human decency. And it comes at a time when tensions are already high. India and Pakistan are locked in a spiral of a diplomatic fallout. Airspace closures on both sides, hostile statements, and now this? But where do we draw the line? When did we become a world where saving lives needed permission? When did we forget that human life is sacred, regardless of nationality? This is not just a headline, it's a wake-up call. A wake-up call to the global community, to governments across the globe. Thankfully, the aircraft landed safely. The pilot, a true hero, navigated through nature's fury and a man-made wall of indifference. But Pakistan continues to do what it always does.